What's up, all my movie loving maniacs? This your boy Bankful B, and with the Oscars coming this weekend, I thought now is a good time to finally bring you the Lassiter Factor Movie Awards. It's the award show where I pretty much give superlative and fun awards to all the movies I watched last year. I waited till now to finally do this and put a cap on the year of 2025 of movies because I wanted some time to make sure I watch everything I really want to watch before I move on. Now, granted, there are still a few movies I still haven't seen, but I'm just watch those periodically throughout the rest of 2026. But I've watched all the important things. But enough of me babbling. Let's get into it. These are the Lassiter Factor Movie Awards of 2025. And I got a lot of awards here, so this award show will be split into maybe 4 or 5 parts, depending on how many I try to do into one video. But the goal is 9 or 10 awards a video. But we're going to start with a bang here with the biggest fumble, and that award is going to go to Megan 2.0. I really enjoyed that first movie, but the second movie was a bit of a letdown. Granted, I still enjoyed it, but it was definitely different from the first movie. This one was more action-oriented, sci-fi action, if you want to call it that, but otherwise, it just strayed away from the roots of that original movie. And because of that, it failed at the box office. Next is a newer award that I'm introducing this year, and it's called the Biggest Online Discourse of 2025. And right now I have 2 categories, and really I couldn't pick no winner because either or was just exhausting. And the first winner of most exhausting online discourse goes to superhero and comic book movies. Look, Marvel has been on a bit of a slump post Endgame, and DC, what can I say about them that hasn't been said, but just the online discourse around them about superhero fatigue and calling everything in superhero movies woke. It was just really exhausting, and I hope this really ends pretty much soon because it is just more ammunition for the absolute wrong people on YouTube and TikTok, whoever. It's just ammunition for the wrong people to grift off of superhero movies. And the second winner of most exhausting online discourse is the lead up to Wicked for Good. Look, leave these poor women alone. Yes, they're a lot skinnier than usual. Yes, they don't look the same, and yeah, they're a little bit weird in interviews. But who the fuck cares? It's all about the movie, and the fact that Wicked for Good, even though it wasn't as good as the first movie, despite the fact that if this movie didn't even get any type of awards consideration for this year's Oscars, all because people were just put off by the weird interviews between Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Like, bro, judge the movie, not the actresses. I'm sure Ariana Grande will be fine. She is a musical star to begin with, but Cynthia Erivo, I hope her stock doesn't go down in terms of acting because she is a talented actress who can sing her ass off. Next is the award I like to call the Stop Trying to Make This Happen, It's Never Going to Happen award. Basically, this award goes to movies that shamelessly try to set up a new movie after relaunching a franchise after it's been dormant for some time. The first choice is Tron Ares with that end credit scene where Peter, I'm blanking on his name, but basically the villain of this movie, he goes to the grid and he gets confronted by the villain of the original movie trying to set up a third movie, and everybody just shrugged their shoulders like. Then we got Now You See Me, Now You Don't, in which the very end of that movie brings back a cameo of Mark Ruffalo, which is pretty much them trying to set up a fourth movie after he hasn't been around for most of this movie, and we got the newer cast and the newer cast. Self-explanatory. But this award is gonna go to I Know What You Did Last Summer. Look, the first 2 movies weren't. I'm not saying the first 2 movies weren't Citizen Kane, but at the same time, they weren't held in high regard among horror fans. And so now you bring back a third movie, which I get, nostalgia. But then at the very end, they bring back Bandy trying to set up another movie, and we're all just like, no, just stop. I mean, I'm excited to see Brandy, but come on now. Next is the award for Best First Act. This is the award to movies that have a strong first act, maybe a somewhat good second act, but then the third act is where it just falls off. And I have 3 choices for this. Wicked for Good, which I said earlier had a good and solid first act, but then everything else after that just didn't really work for me. 28 years later, in which, again, a solid first act in which you have Aaron Taylor Johnson and the actor that plays his son in the movie. They go on this little rite of passage type journey in which they go hunting zombies. And then the second half of the movie, that's just the uninteresting part. But this award is going to go to Karate Kid Legends, which not only this is a lazy legacy sequel, but the first act of this movie, they actually set up something that was pretty compelling and actually pretty interesting. But then they just drop all that just to make your typical run of the mill Karate Kid movie. Next is the award for best second and third act. These are movies that had so and so first act, but then it brought it back in the second and third act. And I have a couple of choices for this one. The first is Jurassic World Rebirth, which, let's be honest, nobody asked for this, and I'll get into that in another video dedicated to these awards. But the winner for this award is going to go to The Housemaid, in which the first act of this movie, I thought it was going to go somewhere, but then once the second act hit, it was a completely different movie, and it kind of threw me for a loop. Next is the award for Most Overexposed Actor, and I have two actors in mind for this one. The first is Sydney Sweeney, speaking of The Housemaid, but Sydney Sweeney, she went on a bit of a run in 2025, but most of them were flops until she got to The Housemaid, which was the more successful one, and let's be honest, more to her sensibilities as an actress, or at least the movie that most people are interested in seeing her in, versus all the other movies in which people didn't really want to see her in. She was in this movie called Chrissy, which I'll admit I have not seen yet, in which she plays a lesbian boxer. And plus, let's not all forget all her controversies with the blue jeans ad, which turned people off. But the winner for this award is going to go to Pedro Pascal. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but I'm just calling it like I see it. He was in a lot of fucking things last year in 2025, from Materialist, Fantastic Four, Eatington, you name it. Next is the award for a movie that is so bad it's good, and the winner for that is Tyler Perry's Straw, which I think is a movie that had pure intentions, but the execution was a bit wishy-washy. I'd say this is probably one of his best in years, but even that's not a high bar to cross. And if you personally relate to this movie, hey, more power to you. It's just the execution of this movie just didn't work for a lot of people, but Taraji Henson, she's definitely acting her ass off. Next is the award for most accurate title, and the award for that is going to go to The Long Walk. I mean, what this movie is about is self-explanatory in the title, and a damn good movie, I must say. And for the last award, it is most meta movie, and the winner for that one is Anaconda, which is a reboot of the Anaconda movies from 1997 starring Ice Cube and Jennifer Lopez. And it was a pretty fun movie. It was a good comedic and meta take on just the Anaconda movie and just Hollywood in general. And I could also relate to this because, you just got a group of people just trying to make a movie and make a movie about something that they loved when they were much, much younger. But that's part one of the Lassiter Factor Awards. Be on the lookout for part two. Did you like these awards, and what would you have given these specific awards to, and what's a fun award you would like to give a movie from last year? Let me know in the comment section below. This your boy Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.